No, hang on.
Good morning.
Why are they all off center now? Am I stupid? What could I have touched? I didn't touch anything. Hang on, I need to figure this out. I'm willing to burn screen time. Actually, I'm not willing to burn screen time for the bit because we only have like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes before I have to do. I gotta do things. Where's my actual music? Hang on, I'm not normally like this. You caught me with my pants up. You got to bring the ambiance. That's a little bit too loud. It's a little bit too quiet. Too much macaroni, not enough cheese. A little bit louder. That might be too loud. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I think it's as good as it's gonna get. Welcome in, Franny. Welcome in, Coder Coco. Welcome in, Virtue Bro. Welcome in, Too Scott to Handle. Welcome in, Wife. Welcome in, Crucian. Welcome in, Debronicle. Applaud you too, my friend. Just remember to kill Stoic ASAP. No matter what, you have to flag PvP. I will do so. What is this? Where'd you find this shit? Oh yeah, no, it's a oh, shit. It's a glab. Yeah. I don't know why it's broken. It shouldn't be broken. Is this part of the Stoic stream? Yeah, exactly. Use the situation to talk about patience at difficult times. Why is streamer not doing anything? There's going to be a whole lot of not happening for at least an hour, and then 30 minutes of a beer back screen, and then it's going to be a lot of things happening. It's going to be me constantly gaslighting people when I am the killer, and trying to convince people I'm not gaslighting when I'm not the killer. for probably 2-3 hours. You did this on purpose as part of the bit. It's not part of the bit. Gonna kiss you? You cannot. You can't. So I've got about an hour on this. I'm gonna kind of like do the normal Stoicism stream thing that I do if this is your first time here, or you've only been to like one of these things. I'm gonna give you a preface, or I give you an idea of exactly what is going to be coming out of my mouth for about an hour or so, an hour plus, and then we're going to dive right into it. So like the other Stoicism stream specials, on top of me talking about the self-help life advice strats that are just general enough to apply to whatever might be bothering you tomorrow, today, yesterday, a little or a lot, this stream is going to double function like you, chatter, are just hanging out and drinking coffee with me, and we're talking about our brains. It just so happens that this one has a heavy focus on how to deal with streaming related fears. Before I start, I'm actually a little bit parched. I'm actually a little parched. Just give me a moment. My appointment took literally 5 minutes, so I get to be here for the Stoicism stream. Let's go. Actually, that's the wrong one.
Rockin' stove.
Mo for me, daddy. Ooh, 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 sussy maka.
That's exactly what I'm doing, drinking coffee. I fucking love Heart Gold. Welcome to your first Stoicism stream. So the chances are good that this will help you, this Stoicism stream thing, whether you're just thinking of streaming or are just starting streaming or have been streaming for a while. Chances are equally good that this will help you if all you care about is learning about what Stoicism is or what it can do for you. You don't need any prior experience at all. You don't need to become a Stoic to use any of the stuff that's going to come out of my mouth. It's not a cult. You just need to exist and be capable of basic sensory perception, and then you should be good. Welcome in, Piku. Thank you for chatting up, Piku. I appreciate it. I've set up links to an anonymous sign-up list feedback site called Marshmallow. I don't know why it's called that. It just is. All right. You can plug questions that you have about any time about anything in case you want to ask something, but it might be sensitive to you, and or you don't want it to be associated with your Twitch username. I'm going to be regularly using Marshmallow in the future because it's a persistent anonymous drop-off inbox. So after the stream ends, you can send me a message if you choose to, and I'll be able to receive it. And if you're registered, I'll be able to reply to you. Welcome in, Max4VT. Good to see you. Welcome in, Felicity Ryan. All the cool people coming out. All the cool people here. We live in it. I'm kind of okay with joining a cult today, to be honest. I'm in that kind of mood. Well, then you're welcome right in. Kiki Loves Dragons. I feel like I've seen your name before. I'm scoping. I'm looking. I'm auditing. Schedule. I'm looking. Nice background. Like it. Has dragons, if you can believe it. Imagine Dragons. Links are pinned at the top of my Twitch chat and can be summed up with !AMA on Twitch. This link, this marginal link, won't go away after stream. So like I said, if you have a question in the future, just drop it in there and I should be able to reply to it directly if you're registered. I'll occasionally stop to check the site during this stream and answer questions. Limitations really is just going to be on time. If you send anything to me through Marshmallow in the future, I'll directly respond to it as soon as I can. The only caveat that I ask of you is to not give any personally identifiable information. I should be able to help, or I at the very least will try to help, and I don't necessarily need to know anything beyond that in order to do so. For base covering purposes, I'm not accredited, I'm not certified, I'm not licensed anywhere to perform psychological or philosophical counseling. I can say that I know that I've helped people, and anything that I ever say in a Stoicism stream, I practice or apply to myself to real-world situations. There's no minimum or maximum amount of time this thing typically runs. It just so happens that we have a massive fuck-off collab that's happening in a little less than a couple of hours with so many streamers that I couldn't even fit them anywhere except on the intro advert. Just know it's a lot, and every single one of them are cool, and you should check them out. Would you say you're good at controlling yourself? I would say so, yes. For real, this philosophy has helped me a lot. No PII, keep your OPSEC unlocked, so true. A lot of this stuff I'm going to be saying is going to feel heavy or intense. If you have any questions at any time, you know what to do. You can also, optionally, if you're comfortable with me knowing who you are and you have questions, just reach out to me on Discord. I'm going to put in my Discord link now. Discord, exactly right, Shimmy, that's right. That's my Discord there. I also post, adverts and art and stuff like that, like all the 2.0 related art for my 32525 2.0 debut / second affiliate anniversary / subathon is also going to be posted on there. You can also find links to all of my other stuff right in there with socials. Before we actually get started, why am I doing this? It's because I owe a debt. I owe this philosophy, these people from thousands of years ago for who I am, and the belief that I can actually become the type of person I wanted to be since I was a kid. I owe it to people going through what I did the majority of my life, hopefully to help give them the tools they need to help themselves, and to avoid them feeling comprehensively, utterly, constantly lost or alone like I did for a good part of my life. It is a goal of mine to stream part-time, and if we get there full-time, so I have as many opportunities to possibly affect people that are suffering the way I described. If I continue helping even one person with every stream, I consider accomplishing my core goals, no matter how much or how little money flows through the channel, or whether I float 1 million followers or 1,000. After an hour-ish, we'll break for a bit so I can set up for Lockdown Protocol Mega Collab. Eat and pee and probably stretch. I should do that. All right, with that, let's do the thing. So every single one of us in this room and outside of this room is born as a blank slate. We all start with the capacity for desires, fears, opinions, judgments, beliefs. Our culture, our experiences, habits we form in reacting to those experiences shape us into who we are over time. It shapes you into who you are, sitting there listening to this animated cartoon man talk with a 20-year-old MMO private server in the background. Many habits have roots that run all the way back to when we were kids. Who is ignoring you, Franny? Imagine if you were being ignored. What do you mean? What are you saying? I've been talking to you this whole time, man. I'm talking to you right now. Oh shit, it's me. I didn't get a notification. Oh yes, I did. Owned, based, owned, based. Imagine it happening to you the way that it happened to Franny. I couldn't, personally. God bless. Yeah, so what anyone what anyone chooses to do is based on what they ultimately find valuable, and their habits reacting to similar situations with similar information. In short, in a vacuum, a person has no choice but to do what seems best to them in that given moment, exactly as they are, with the conditions that they're presented with. Welcome in, Wolfers. Good to see you. Yeah, the fucking Dark Souls main menu music, A Moment's Peace, from Dark Souls 1, fucking goes unbelievably hard. In short, in a vacuum, person has no choice but to do what seems best to them. If they did have a choice, they would have done something different. If they were truly convinced at any point before that moment that there could have been a better way, they would then have made a different choice. You are here because you made a choice exactly like that. Only you know the reason why you're here.
Down 5%.
Say something, Stoic, you got it. Today is like an unlimited fountain of say something, Stoic. So I think I'm gonna give you about 40,000 channel points worth, Dutchy. Oh man, what a savings. Welcome in, Dutchy, good to see you. Only you know the reason why you're here, why you made this particular choice. To sit here and listen to me for however long you end up doing so before you're like, this shit is boring. I'm gonna go play Valorant. I'm gonna go play Valorant because at least I can left mouse click and then numbers and colors happen. From your point of view, only I know the reason why I'm saying doing any of this at all, for however long I end up doing it, regardless of the back-end desires, fears, habits, judgments, opinions. Our ultimate choice is or was to be here. Stoics believe that ability to choose, this capacity for choice, is the strongest part of ourselves. What we choose to try to do, the reason why, is what defines us and has a knock-on effect on every single other part of our lives. Dudgy is wise, bro.
Down 5%. Shion,
It's Franny B. It's Franny B is extremely good with his community. He's also very emotionally intelligent. He is completely effortless to get along with. He's very funny. I like his accent. I like his. I mean, it's hard not to like a British accent, but he does the British accent really good, even though he could stop it at any time. I respect his commitment to the bit. He's a smart guy. He will make somebody a fantastic husband someday. If in another life I was not happily married and I swung that way, I would smash. Probably. I would probably smash. He's 84 years old. I fucking hate them all. He is. Lomao, subscribe to me or I will ban you. Remember that part where I said that he was emotionally intelligent? That's you see it on display right now. I give you free content, you goddamn freeloaders. Damn, it's really good British impression. It's not lies, it's fact. It's because you're 84. We are married. Maid Franny gets it. It matters when you try to do the right thing, even if no one is around to see it. It matters that you resist doing the wrong thing, even if you have a tangible thing to lose or something to gain out of it. It matters that you do the best that you can with what you have and the time you have it, even if the odds always seem against you, especially if they always seem against you. It matters because there's a line in the sand of your brain that's been there all your life, and modern culture does a really poor job helping you cultivate an understanding of why it is there, much less the fact that it is there at all. This line is a delineation, the distinction between what is in your control and what is outside of your control. It, the capacity to understand it, and the capability to do something with it, draws directly from one quality that separates us from every other animal species, and that's reason. I'm a Stoic in training. We're all Stoic gremlins in training, certified Stoicism moment. I'm gonna check Marshmallow real quick to see if anything's stuck in there. What do I do if somebody's wife wants me to perform sexual acts on her? Please hold. What do I do if someone's wife wants me to perform acts on her husband in front of said wife? Is this you, Franny? I know that I said not to give me any personally identifiable information. Is this you, bro? Is this you, bro? I appreciate that Marshmallow tried to hide the word sexual from me. What do I do if somebody's wife wants me to perform sexual acts on her husband in front of said wife? I mean, if every party is consenting and you described your your limitations, your guidelines, and as long as you respect your friend, you're the husband whom I'm assuming you're friends with, then I don't know. Do not call me out, bro. Not a yes. I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are, man. I bet you is. I bet you is. Reason is what enables us to decide things. Reason is why you intuitively understand the concept of me or I. Reason is why we bother with being thought of as a good person or want to avoid seeming like being a bad person, both to ourselves internally and to others. It's why we can't just settle for eating, sleeping, staying warm, and banging. It establishes a higher order of needs that no other animal species has. When these needs aren't met, we could be a status symbol for everyone on the planet. We could have unlimited money. We could be literally king or queen of the world, and we would still be unhappy. There are people alive right now with more power and wealth than any person has ever had in the history of mankind, cumulatively, and it still very obviously feels like not enough to them. Are you gonna answer that question fully or nah? I mean, no, I did answer it fully. I said that if everybody is consenting and there's been no emotional comfort zones breached, then sure. I guess fucking ruin that guy for everybody. All right. Just go absolutely bananas on that ding-a-ling, I suppose. Is how you know the cool kids say it now. Whoever asked that question might need a full answer. Do it should be, but I'm looking out for them. But simply, every animal does what it thinks will help it. These lower order needs, the eating, the sleeping, the staying warm, the banging. We also have these same lower order needs. Our higher order needs are becoming virtuous, aka becoming a good person, and avoiding vices, aka not being a bad person. Stoics believe that to become virtuous, we need to deliberately embody the attributes we think of when we imagine what a good person would be like. Courageous, compassionate, patient, just, reliable, diligent, humble, and kind. Avoiding vices includes actively, consciously reining in your own anger, jealousy, greed, vanity, and so on, which is super easier said than done. I know, but that's the core idea. The Stoics believe that being virtuous is the only way to reach true happiness in an enduring and self-sufficient way, a state of being that they refer to as eudaimonia, or excellence of the soul. When is Stoic 3.11? How you doing, Prybars 3 point? Welcome in, Emliko. That's a great question. Probably like 4 years from now. Is my extremely I wouldn't even call it uneducated guess. That's my uneducated guess. Are there any rules for the AMA? Just wondering. As long as you're not like screaming gamer words at me in the message that you sent to me, then anything really is fine. If you would prefer me to not read out the question for any reason on stream, you may do so, as long as you don't include any like just say in the message, don't say this, don't read this, just give me a response, something like that, and I'll try to contextualize it in some way that kind of muddies the original questions somehow. But as long as you're not adding any like personally identifiable information, I don't think that it's all going to link back to you, right? I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to do what I just did to Franny. even though it was very obviously a front-loaded question from Franny, that's why I did that. I'm not going to call out people except for Franny that I think like if Franny asked me a question that was framed in a way that didn't seem extraordinarily Franny coded and directed at me and completely in line with things that he regularly says or has said in the past, I wouldn't have called him out like that, but it was definitely him. Bar's gonna ask a question about me. I know it wasn't from me. What do you mean? Can you just assume it was me? Stoic will love my question. Yeah, that's right. All right. So trying to be a good person is under control. Not being a bad person is under control. And being a good person is how the Stoics believe we can achieve actual happiness and peace that is strictly dependent on us. What the fuck does any of this have to do with streaming? The reason is that much of the time we're confusing numbers, statistics, subscriptions, follows, raids, how active chat is, and so on, with actually being good things. Without thinking, we are equating our own self-worth to some degree with whether these things are increasing, so that if lines go up, we feel better about ourselves. And if lines go down, we're harsh on ourselves. If we let this kind of thinking install deeply enough and get ingrained through habit, we might even start turning against the people we think might be getting in the way of our own success that should have been ours instead, or we might be trying to get the attention of people that we think could get us to where we think that we should be, quotation finger marks, thinking of people as a utility or a means to an end instead of seeing them as just another person like you that's trying to bang sticks and rocks together on the internet to try to make something cool work. Every fucked up question is going to be put on me. From here on out, it's not going to be. I will read it out, but that one was definitely from you. definitely from you specifically. And it was framed. It was framed in a very specific way. And if it wasn't actually from you, I'm sorry to the person that I mean, my answer is still valid, bro. My answer is still valid if it wasn't you. So it's one, it's funny for me to pin it on you, and two, I actually said the response that I would have given if I wasn't 100% sure that it was you. That's your brand, bro. It's true. And the only thing I want to put on me is that rocking bod, bro. Active chat is bad because Twitch shares are bad. Don't clout shark your friends. Exactly right. Let me refresh. Marshmallow. I see something coming. Do you want to play Foxhole? No, I don't think that Foxhole is a game that I can play anymore. And the reason why is because it is an extremely unstreamer friendly game. So my choices are either to become a Foxhole streamer, virtually if not exclusively, or to try to put people in a position where I want them to join my clan, essentially, and then be like, I have no idea when I'm going to be able to play. I have no idea when I'm going to get tired of Foxhole. But I also expect you to be there for when I need to do group stuff because the game is so reliant on people playing together. So the want is there. Like I have a problem. I'm hard coded now to check the Foxhole Reddit every day. I check it at least once every day, if not every other day. So like I want the game to be good, but the devs don't want it to be good. You show Foxhole, that's TOS. I'll press it right up against the fucking camera, Brybars. Did Stoic answer a question about having sex with somebody else's wife? Just wondering. The person who did ask the question DM'd me saying sorry. Oh yeah. Did you do that? Did they do that with their left hand or their right? Let people yell slurs at you on your stream, Stoic? You can. It actually makes me more powerful than you could possibly imagine. There's nothing that anyone can do to me that hasn't already been done. I worked in a behavioral school with kids that may or may not have had special needs, or came from difficult living situations, or both. So I've been bitten, I've been headbutted. I've had to be like the one force in the room that stopped high schoolers from physically tearing each other apart at the seams. There was one time where we were so short-staffed that the high schoolers became aware that they could just start doing whatever they wanted, and I physically could not stop them. I was trained in this school to non-violently restrain students if I needed to. and still, you know, I'm just one guy in like a classroom of like 30 kids that are as big, if not in some cases bigger than me. So there was one time where I was basically like left to my own devices for like a full minute or so, when fists started randomly flying because one kid looked at another kid crossways, and a minute might not seem like a lot. When you are engaged in what is effectively a combat situation, a minute is a fucking eternity while you're screaming special words that are the equivalent of saying like SOS. I'm lighting a flare right now. I need any and all able-bodied motherfuckers to come to my aid right now, and not getting it for like a minute. I've also been almost projectile vomited on, so I'm gonna reroute back to my original statement that you can do that. I can't guarantee that you're gonna get any mileage out of it. Behavioral issues. Can the person on screen move a little? Person on screen move a little. And where is their bottom half? The person on screen is me. Have you watched my streams before? My beautiful wife, is this your first time here? Do you know who the little man is? Damn, he had more action in that job than I did working as a prison cop. It was fucking wild. We were like 50% over capacity and 33% understaffed at one point. That's really excessive, so extremely a safe word, and just getting hit harder. That's wild. Combat, 1,000 mile stare. Exactly. Yeah. Other streamers are doing what you're doing as a streamer for reasons that are only known truly to them. You are streaming or doing some other public-facing project for reasons that are known only to you. This concept applies to literally everything that anyone does in life. From here on out, I'm going to recommend to you to divorce yourself as much as you can, as often as you can, from the idea that whatever you're working on, streaming or otherwise, must be valued or perceived by other people in order to have worth or utility or meaning. What utensil would Marcus Aurelius use to eat rice? A fucking spoon. Obviously. It's one of the first sentences of the meditations, or to otherwise known as to himself. Just read the book. Just read the book. I'm gonna put the link in chat. Books. Anyway, it's wait, did I not put the Marcus Aurelius one in here? Oh, I'm bad. I need to change that. Hang on. It's the meditations. Just pick up any of the 8 billion copies that are out there. Add Marcus Aurelius copy to books links. All right, and they will be done. Sick. It's gotta be a spoon, dude. There's no reasonable alternative. Oh God, so I said divorce should be done. No, it can mean more than one thing. The people that you would want to stick around your work will do so, so long as you're committing to a single principle, which is, I'm gonna do the best that I can, again, with the time that I have it, and I'm gonna let the rest happen the way that it's going to. This is acknowledging a few immovable facts, while also turning you from being a simply reactive agent in a situation to being an active driving agent for yourself. Something that will, coincidentally, increase the chances that you'll behave in ways that'll make your streaming more successful in the conventional sense, despite the material conventional success not being the central goal for you anymore. This is because you've begun turning your judgments of what's actually valuable from things outside of your control to things that are inside of your control. Marcus Aurelius Meditations is on Spotify as well for free. It's true. I also highly recommend, off the top of my head, a YouTube channel called Vox. I'm going to put it in chat. Vox Stoica, who does audiobook reading. I have to add that to my fucking links, man. He does great VA, reads out all the Stoic stuff. Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, everything. Add Vox Stoica 2 books, audio book, and it's all free. Meditation is amazing, changed my life. Love his summary. Oh yeah, I've watched Vox before. Awesome. In Stoicism, there's a concept called co-fatedness. Welcome in. Carbon GM. Did I miss you? Life wants to see that bottom half. You don't want to see the bottom half. Nobody wants to see the bottom half to this model. It's not like artistically, it's fine. But I am actually 9 feet tall. I'm actually 9 feet tall. And it is not for human consumption. The 2.0 model is proportioned as a 6 foot tall man, I would say. I am 9 feet tall. Okay, I will give you here you go. Look. You want it so bad? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it, bro. Look at that. Look how fucking tall I am. I'm not gonna show you, okay, because I haven't gone fully down the rabbit hole, but there is stuff that's underneath the robe. It's like I said, like artistically, it's very well modeled, but the proportions are interesting for sure. Dem knees. We ask for it every time. I've never seen the whole fit. It's so good. It is. They did do a good job on that. I'm gonna check my inbox one more time. Did my ask me anything go through? Did I miss it? Looking. When you say ask me anything, there's a channel command for that, but there's also, do you mean like through the Marshmallow app? PSN has been down for nearly a day. I need to get my gaming fix in. How do I stop the bad thoughts? Xbox Game Pass. That's my recommendation. Hi, sweetie.
Sorry, I'm bombarding because you're refusing to answer my question. What is that?
That's a character?
That's what I was talking about. Where's its bottom half? Oh, he's sitting down.
Yeah, he's sitting down. Yeah.
That's what I've been asking. Okay, I'm going back to my computer now.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Right.
That's funny though.
That's what
Whoops.
I was talking about. Okay, bye.
Tonal change. There we go. I was like, you've seen my streams before. What are you talking about, crazy? And Protogic, those games, they go all the way up. They go all the way up. I'm not showing you my booty. 25 gift subs and I show the booty. Don't do that. There's no booty. So just don't. Welcome in, Heartsocket. No show her how bald your character is, just like real life. The bald character is only going to come out for horror streams now. Welcome in, Heartsocket. Professional hot voice haver. How are you? How are you? So like I've been struggling a bit lately with the number of viewers on my chat and a lack of feedback on my channel's content. I want to reach out and ask my viewers what they want, but I'm not sure that if it's a good idea because I feel like most want to respond. You may say most don't want to respond. I know everyone can't watch at the same time, but it's getting extremely frustrating to put so many hours into something and not see a tangible benefit. How do I cope with this? What should I do to avoid this in the future? I'm gonna save this question for last. Is there any way that I'm gonna heart it so it stands out to me, which is like the best that I can do. I'm gonna answer this question at the very end. Something that I might say towards the end could help with this specifically. And then I'm just gonna answer it anyway, just in case it doesn't. In Stoicism, there's a concept called co-fatedness, which is kind of touching on the question that I just read out. Some things are destined to always happen by the physical nature of the universe that we exist in. For example, Socrates was a dude. Every dude is going to die. Therefore, Socrates will one day die because Socrates is a dude. If Socrates is really sick, it increases the chances that he's going to die. But if he sees a doctor, it's possible Socrates, therefore, the dude does not die. Whether Socrates dies or not is not fully up to him, the dude, but whether he tries to seek out a doctor is up to him. Whether he's successful, whether he's successful in seeing the doctor or the doctor successfully helps him or seems to help him or not. The trying, the intentionality is in Socrates' control. The trying, the intentionality is in the doctor's control. Whether the doctor is skilled enough, whether the doctor is properly geared, whether Socrates has enough physical constitution in order to weather whatever procedures are going to happen to him, is so on and so forth, is not in their control. It depends on so many factors, but except for one, which is the choices that are involved. That both the doctor, the dude, and Socrates, the dude, are making. I already shouted them out. Take care of the shouting. You're so good. I wanted to shout out Hard Socket anyway. Need to stalk vegetables, very healthy. Sandbag the question to increase audience retention. Fuck off. I'm just saying is that it's like you being like, I don't know, a mathematician and you're teaching math class, right? This should gel very well with you, Brad Bars. It's like you're teaching math class and you're like, I'm gonna talk about like the basics of math, and then somebody's like, okay, but what's 2 + 2? And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna explain like some things around the 2 + 2 question, and that'll help. That may or may not answer your question and provide the psychological building blocks to understand like 4 + 4 as an example. Welcome in, Joker's fan. I'm good to see you. So something is capable of dying. It's a dude. Got to fix that logic. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, man. You get it. You understand. You understand me. Using another example that's not dude related that the Stoics liked using for co-fatedness. Imagine dragons, a steep hill. On this hill, you have... Shut up! Hard socket, shut up! On this hill, you've got a tube. How fun for you. If you put the tube on a decline, it's going to roll down. Whether the tube rolls down the hill or not is not up to the tube. It's up to the nature of it being a physical tube, the steepness of the hill that it's on, and the gravity pulling it down. That affects it going down. The shape of the tube affects how it's going to roll down, whether it's a perfectly smooth tube or a little banged up in parts, or if it's heavy or light, but it's going to go down that hill. You, Chatter, Brybars, Max, Jokers, Virtue Bro, Zoomer Kroom, Monster Mash, Booty Slayer 69 are the tube. I am the tube. Everyone that's playing Valorant right now, everyone that's playing League of Legends, everyone that's playing Dead by Daylight right now is the tube. We can control whether we do our best to get all of our streaming tech working right. We can control trying to herd cats to get people into the right places at the right time for collabs. We can control trying to meaningfully connect with whoever pops up in chat. We can control trying to post at every one of the self-promo channels of the 80 billion streamer discords that we're part of for the 1% chance that one person will be in the right place at the right time to see it and then bother to click. But before, during, and after you hit that start streaming button, the tube is rolling. The trying, your intentionality, you keeping and not ever trespassing that mental line of I'm going to do my best into I'm trying to own forces out of my control affects how it rolls. It affects how you are going to roll. Imagine Dragon D's in us, so true. Stoic is a silver fox. I don't know what that means, but I feel like it's a compliment, so thank you. Why are you playing ASMR music? Because this is, I mean, it's good music for one, and for two, it's helping me at least stay on task. That's so true about the cell promo. I think it's funny that small streamers put all this time and money into emotes and overlays, but you look at the top streams and they all look like trash. So I have my own thoughts on that, and I don't know if any of them are accurate. You're right that a lot of the way that I see it is like inverse advertising, which I don't even know if I use the right combination of words there, but I'm going to try to explain it to the best of my ability and probably fail. When you are, this is more towards like the streaming theory, okay? The streaming theory that I have. Once you hit what I refer to personally in the comfort of my own home as a critical mass of viewers, you start, people the people increasingly seem likely to tune into you, not less because they're interested in the game, but more so because of the thought process of people are watching XYZ number of people are watching this particular streamer, and I want to know why. Or 25, 30 people are watching this particular streamer. That probably means that they are quote unquote more worth my time. That's not necessarily true. There could be, out of the other 9 streamers that pop up in the first 10 of the category, could have like a personality, how like different channel redeems, could have some other side thing that they could be interested in, such as, you know, occasionally doing like Stoicism streams every month to month and a half or so, that could gel with them more completely. But that number is a statistic that people kind of like aggregate around, even whether they should or they should not. It's just a factor for most people. At a certain point, once a person starts hitting that critical mass, they can then start pulling back. Welcome in, Little Devi. Good to see you. And thank you for shouting out, Little Devi. They might feel like they can or should start pulling back on-screen elements or about parts of their About Me section, making them less complicated. Not every streamer is going to do that, but some streamers, including some very large ones that I watch, like Tomato Gaming and so on, Northern Lion, have this is the information, you know who I am, these are the things that you care about clicking on, and this is like, I'm just setting it up so that you can basically like speed run to follow me on everything that you care to follow me on. It's not every streamer, not every like, I don't know, moderately big streamer, which I would say is probably around like the 45, 50 plus people mark. I would say that, you know, you start hitting different levels of critical mass around and beginning around 25. Around 25 is when people seem, based off of my non-empirical evidence and me just theorizing, okay, on an amateur level, I'm not a statistician, okay, but it's around 25 that it starts to seem to me like people start watching because they get the impression that other people are watching and there must be a reason, and then use that as an increasingly large reason for them to tune into a particular streamer if they don't happen to have one that they gravitate to for any reason. But if those people are bots, Mr. Stoic, I can't speak to that. All I'm saying is that for the non-bot people, if they see XYZ number of people in there, it's increasingly likely that they're just, whether those people are real or not, it's just the number. It's just the identifiable information that they have right off the bat, and then they just make a if-then statement in their brain about whether they should click on it or not. Listening to Philosophy, where's Franny B today? He's here. So I called him out, so he left. Yeah, he asked me a question about like how would I feel or how would I react to him sexually propositioning me if my wife gave permission. Ara, is that sound playing? That's supposed to tell me when things are coming in.
Charging.
Okay, so for some reason it doesn't do the very first one. Ara. Found Tomato from Charborg, and he's super low effort on stream. Some streamers who've been around a long time made their claim before the streaming landscape really changed around 2020. Right, some of them are entrenched. And so some of them are like, well, I've never had to invest any extra resources into like my About Me section, and I'm not going to start now. Proposition Pro Stoic, go for it. It's ready to be. I also get permission. Yeah, exactly. You have to go through Shumi and Pry Bars, my council of sexual relations, in order to proposition me. But before, during, after you hit the streaming button, the tube is rolling. You trying, you having best good faith intentions of trying to not lose sight of doing your best is going to affect how you roll. Some of what I'm saying may be striking a chord in you. You might carry that feeling into your next stream, and you should. Keeping up that mentality will be tough, however many times you try. It does get easier. And it'll be exciting, at least it was for me, when it does start getting easier. Over time, you're going to be less and less nervous. You're going to be less and less concerned about lines going up and down, less and less jealous or envious of the material successes of the people you were once formerly psyoping yourself into seeing as competitors. You'll also accomplish something else that's really important, probably without realizing it. You're going to be showing other people that it's possible to think and feel this way. Maybe inspiring them to just maybe seek out why and how that could be and possibly develop these skills in themselves. I keep hearing Cosmo saying charging. Yeah, exactly. There's also a more complicated one. I'll play it right now. Hang on. For the big ticket items, like this one, your mother.
My external appearance is down 5%. Shion, I need to be
Thank you
clean.
for following Formless Odeon. Did tell me if I pronounced that right, or if you prefer me to say the whole thing, or if you'd rather me say Formless instead or Odeon. You just let me know, and I'll do whatever. The Stoic, did you have your nipples and salt? Stoic, do you still have your nipples and salt swollen with steel? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes. In the affirmative. Playing the using ether sound and tell me what she says without cheating. I don't know. Play the using ether sound and tell me what she says. I don't know. But I just remember like bits and pieces. I'm not like I love Xenosaga, but I'm more of like a Xenogears head. But also, plus one on the reference. Thanks for that answer. I needed to know. You're gonna accomplish something else that's important. Inspiring other people. The question driving you shouldn't be, how do I get my numbers higher? How do I get more subs? How do I get more follows? How do I get more reposts? The question should be, how do I not mind the numbers being higher or lower? How do I not mind getting or not getting subs or follows? With no small amount of effort on your part, the second question will be the one that's cropping up more often than not. It feels tough, it feels foreign, it feels complicated because you're literally reshaping the way that your brain has been trained and is training itself typically to work since the day that you were born. You are uprooting and pivoting what you value and why you value it from outside things to inside things. People will push back on you for trying to think this way. And that's because when presented with concepts like these, they're really tough to argue with. And the awareness that there's a better asterisk, but initially really against the grain way to mentally handle something important tends to cause discomfort. In short, and then I'm going to answer that question, also check the Marshmallow site in a moment. See streams not as an avenue for money or for status, but for your own internal growth. And it's likely that you'll exhibit kinds of behaviors that'll grow whatever projects or channels that you're working on anyway. Acknowledge that there are forces out of your control that happen by virtue of being in the right place at the right time, and causes and effects both to you and to other people, but it's not what you're handed or seem to be handed, but how you handle those things that affects how you're going to make the most of those things that you're given, and the next thing, and the million things after that. Whether you decide streaming is for you or not depends on what you're trying to get out of it. It should be accenting your personal path in life, not defining it. Let the people, whether it's you or somebody else, that go big, go big. Whether you only ever stream to one person or 1,000, always, always, always try to bring yourself back to center. And just roll with it. Thank you for that extraordinarily cursed big image. I appreciate it, Prime Mars. Thank you for the bits. You said it right. Formless is fine. It's okay, Stuck. Nobody knows. How are you apart from beautiful? To Proshumi, I'm increasing my numbers by being a historic orbiter. I'm doing wonderful. How are you, lovely? Are we in a sect without knowing that we're in one? It's not a cult. It's not a it's not a cult. It's not a cult. Just because I may or may not be having voice acting, professional voice acting, that specifically references the fact that we are not a cult, doesn't mean anything. We're totally not. We're not. I'm kind of in pain. I fell in the street and scraped my knees really badly. All of us collectively will kiss your knees. Serena. There are things I don't understand, but amen. Oh no, are you banned up? Can you ban pry bars? I can't. I could time you out though. Timeout is Franny B. 999,999 seconds. There you are, see? I can do it to you. I can't do it to pry bars. I value pry bars. I mean, I value you too, but you know, in like a brotherly way. You know what I mean? And pry bars is like royalty. You can't do shit to pry bars. Pry bars has never done anything to bring out my ire. You bring out my ire like every 30 seconds that we interact. I gotta have the emergency room. Jeez, it's a cult. It's not a cult. Not a cult. Sag. Hang on, I'll do a poll. Give me a second. This will decide once and for all. Done. Manage poll. New. Would you F low punny? I think was the last poll, and I don't know why. Duration 1 minute. No additional votes. No additional votes. Cult or nah? Cult. Actually, not a cult. We'll do this. Not a cult. Not a cult. Not a cult. Cult. Not a cult. Okay. Start poll. 1 minute. Start poll for 1 minute, baby. I'm in a church right now. The cult of Stoicism. It's not a cult. It's not a cult. Just because you say it 50 times in a TTS doesn't make it a cult. You're more you are more than what others think of you, and I need you to remember that. All right, I'm gonna take a minute to read any marshmallow stuff that might have come in and responded to that question. Why is Shimi allowed to look directly at the TV? Trash, blocked, and I'm also rapidly approaching your location. I've been struggling a bit lately with the number of viewers in my chat and a lack of feedback on my channel's content. I want to reach out and ask my viewers what they want, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea because I feel like most want to respond. I don't know if they mean to frame that question as don't want to respond or do want to respond. I know everyone can't watch at the same time. It's not a cult. Why did you choose that one? You had 4 other choices. You had four other choices. The world was your oyster. Imagine being told to go to the grocery store for ketchup and you go to the mustard section. Wait, I fucked up my own example. You go to the ketchup section and then you choose mustard instead. It's not a cult. Hit the snooze button one more time. Just try to buy myself a little bit of time. Dear God, because every time I listen to you or am here to relax and I heal, well, good. I'm glad. I can't heal you physically, but I can at least do that. Are you free on the 22nd? Let me check. I should be. Yeah, just send me in DMs like what your thought process is. And then I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I remember. Because I see in terms of like as far as like the next couple of weeks out typically, but I should remember. Do you find it's better to read out the chat before it responds? I usually just respond on the fly, but others might get confused that way. If you're relatively new to my streams, the typical process is that I am either in one of 2 modes. The first mode is that I read chat as I go. I'm like glancing over every 20 seconds or so. And then if I'm focused on not chat, there's a giant clump of chat that has built up, and then I will swap to mode B, which is the backed up PC printer mode, where I will stop what I'm doing and I will read it out in just one giant discombobulated, probably bottom up clusterfuck, completely ruining the context and the framing and not understanding properly what I'm responding to, or just not read it. Sometimes I miss it, where like I look back for any reason and I see a question or a statement. I'm like, man, I wish I could have responded to that. He most certainly does not read chat every 20 seconds or so. I said there's 2 modes. There's 2 modes. I'm not always in mode A. I'm not. So to answer your question, how do I cope with this? What should I do to avoid this in the future? I'm going to use my own experience. There are some people out there that are going to start streaming and they are going to be successful within probably 2 to 3 months in the way that you or I would prefer we be, and that they post on socials, somebody gets picked up somewhere for some reason, and then the causes and effects that are surrounding them just happen to link up in a perfect way, completely synchronized to try to spread their content as far and as often as possible. Other people basically have to bang sticks and rocks together over a very, 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 very long period of time, seeing very incremental and sometimes declining improvements in their streaming statistics and flow and so on and so forth. I have to bring it back to the core, which is if your objective is to try to achieve material or statistical success, you are going to drive yourself insane, because that opens the door to you making yourself aware or becoming more vulnerable to being aware of the 80 billion, 100 gajillion, trillions of other streamers that are cropping up, that have cropped up, that have been in circuit for years and years and years. And it's opening a door to a Pandora's box of being subjected to all this noise. You have to close the door and only peek out occasionally, and only to get a rough estimation of what things you're doing that you could improve, to what degree and how, if the time and resources and finances allow it. If your objective is to try to go big as soon as possible, it's not up to you. It's just not. It just isn't. It relies on too much stuff out of your control. You can try to do the best that you can in order to try to, like, as I'm going to use myself as an example. I post regularly on socials, the big ones anyway, the ones that I'm aware of that have seen that have circulation, which is like Blue Sky, Shitter, otherwise known as X, and Threads for like the 5 people max that uses Threads. Like Virtue Bro and I are one of the 5 people on there that uses Threads. If you don't know what Threads is, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I also post a short, if not every day, every other day onto YouTube. I post in all of the self promo sections of every Discord that I'm a part of that allows it, that facilitates that. I am maxed out in my ability to do any more unless I were to go if I were to go part-time streaming or hire a YouTube editor to do the clip part for me, and then that'll save me probably like 45 minutes a day. So I have accepted that I have virtually no discoverability on socials. I just don't. Everybody that has ever followed me, most people, I would say maybe like 5-10% of the people that have followed me are from socials specifically. And I would say the mass, the general constitution is people that found me on Twitch first. And then maybe I would say like 20-30% off of YouTube. The point of me saying all of this is that if I were to focus even a little bit, even a little bit, on the fact that I have no discoverability, that Shitter, Blue Sky is better about it in general because it's decentralized and it's not like hype or drama fed. That it's not up to me whether my stuff circulates. All I can do is use the hand that I'm dealt in order to try to improve people's lives, accidentally or directly. That's the only part that I have any control over. If my tech works, that's not up to me. If my posts go viral for the promotional art / advertisement that I put out, every week ahead of my 2.0 debut that's happening 3/25/25. If it goes viral or not is not up to me. It's not up to me if people like it. It's not up to me if people subscribe. It's not up to me if people follow. It's not up to me. All I could do is basically make a thing. I just make a thing and I put the thing in front of you, and then I say, if you like this thing, if you get mileage out of this thing, then take the thing. Take the thing, because I'm gonna keep making the thing, and then watch as long as it's useful to you. Subscribe to me if you would like to see me be in a better position in the future in order to continue giving a better version or more frequent version of the thing. And that's it. That's all that I can do. Any more than that, extending the line over anything else is going to one, not accomplish anything, two, make me more vulnerable to whether or not people are perceiving my thing, and three, none of that adds anything to the quality of the thing that I have to give. I think a lot of streamers use social media wrong. If you just post stream updates, you're never going to build an audience. You need to build your non-streamer voice on social media and use that to bring people to stream. I'm weaker than I should be on that front. I agree with you, for one. I'm weaker than I should be on that front. I'm stronger than I used to be on that front. But unfortunately, and I'm not using this as an excuse, I am needing to walk a very fine line that is specifically related to me practicing stoicism, and that stoicism is about you doing the right thing or trying to do the right thing and help people without being seen doing it, without needing to be seen doing it, without factoring that thought into it at all. And given how public facing streaming is, that's been a tightrope walk for me that I'm getting more proficient in walking. But I'm not quite there, but I am making progress. When's your next hot tub stream? That's a great question. I don't know how many more special streams are going to happen between now and the next, and like the 2.0 debut. Probably none, because I need every minute that's free to me between now and 3:25 in order to make sure that it's all wrapped up with a bow. You told me this, worst media manager ever. You never asked. I would like to start streaming. I don't know how or what to set up. I feel extremely inexperienced and that I will even outright fail. Honestly, streaming is a lot like, I would say, like being like a carpenter and starting out, like woodworking, and that you just need to try to make a stool over and over and over and over again until you're in a position to make like a nightstand. something with a drawer in it. Streaming, in my personal experience, is a lot like, it's the best way to think about it, in my opinion, is just it's all about fucking up until you don't fuck up as much. You have to just go in expecting to get owned by your tech. You have to go in expecting to get owned by the algorithm. You just go in again, just giving it your best shot, and then focusing on you drawing value out of giving it your best shot. Are you getting a new model? Hell yeah, I am. And so what was the answer to the Shimi question about the TV? About the TV? Why isn't she allowed to look at the TV? I don't know. Not allowing her to look at the TV just does something for me personally. That might make me toxic. But you know, that's how them dogs be barking. Thanks for the shouty shrooms. You are epic and need a chalky milk. I didn't hear the answer. LOL. If you were an East guy, what wacky thing would you come back as? A vending machine? I appreciate you and feel so very welcomed in this community. That's awesome. I just want to say thank you for helping to create such an amazing community and bringing so many wonderful people together. Thank you, anonymous chatter. I greatly appreciate you very, very much. It's a very sweet thing to say. Thank you. That genuinely means a lot. Like, not looking at the TV and wearing layers, lots of them. Lots and lots of layers. I'm gonna look at everything else. Okay, there's nothing else, and I have 1 minute before ads start. If you like this even a little bit, consider following. If you like this, actually, I bought myself another 5 minutes, apparently. Apparently for streaming for that hour. If you like this even a little bit, consider following. It gets you some free emotes, updates you when I'm around. If you like this a lot a bit and have the means to do so, consider subscribing. It helps me keep doing things like this more often. Improves the chance I'm to be able to do things like this more often in the future. We're gonna take a break now to herd, so I can herd cats for Lockdown Protocol collab. Get my wife set up to do it. If you have any questions again about anything at any time after the stream ends, !AMA for a link to an anonymous inbox that you can message me directly at. If you register on that site, I can privately reply to you. !point books for Stoic books that I've used for a million years and continue to use. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Amy Lark. Thank you for shouting out Amy Lark. Amy Lark is a super cute 3D bee person with a very nice voice, in my opinion. My isekai question not go through? It did. I said a vending machine. It would be a vending machine. Just up to Pro Baldy and no ads. So true. A truer thing has never been said. So we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna be... It's probably gonna be like half an hour or so. I'm basically gonna start the stream when we're all collectively ready. Technically, the Lockdown Protocol part of the stream isn't happening for, I would say, like about an hour or so. But I'm gonna go eat a snack and do my thing and pay attention to my wife and make sure that she's set up for it, and then check my Discord and make sure that everybody is good to go. We might not get all 16 people. I mean, you know, excluding me, obviously, I'm gonna be there. We might not get all 16 people. Some people have the butt-itis, so, you know, but we'll see. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna probably be at least 12 people. Love you all and see you soon. Did I just join a cult? No. Welcome in, Creed Twin. Stoic, the administration I have for you is enormous. You're a great person, a great streamer, and and are a great friend. I admire everything you do, and I always try to support you because I love and admire you. I feel the same thing about you, Serena. Serena, you've been nothing but ultra pleasant the entire time that I've always known you. I think you're amazing. I also think that you're kind of a hottie. And I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to just acknowledge the facts out loud like that. Just saying what everybody's thinking. Appreciate you, Creep Twin, very much. All right, we're gonna take a break for, my guess is about half an hour or so. I would rather use respectfully. Yeah, of course you would. I'm gonna check Marshmallow one more time to make sure that nothing else came in. All right, there is a question that came in a couple minutes ago. I really want to talk to my IRL friends that I talk to on a daily basis about streaming stuff, but they lack the context to really understand and respond in a meaningful way because they don't stream themselves. Should I be focused on making friends I can talk to daily about this stuff, or should I be focused on not being bothered about not having anybody to talk to about this stuff regularly? It's actually to your benefit to have friends that happen to stream and to have friends that don't happen to stream. And for the same reasons that hopefully you have a space, either by virtue of it being outside of your house or a space in your house that you can separate work. Not saying that streaming is work. I'm just using it as an example for psychological reasons. Work and not work. The people that you can talk to about non-streaming stuff are there for when you just don't want to talk about streaming stuff. And you can also talk to them about streaming stuff. They might be interested in it, and it might not be immediately obvious that they are interested in it. But you know, they might come around, they might ask you questions, they might get interested in streaming themselves, and then you get to have the fun and opportunity of sharing what you know to them. The making streaming friends part is just gonna happen. As long as you let me frame it this way. As long as you are relatively well adjusted. Like that you are not an antagonistic psycho. as long as you meet that threshold, you're gonna make streaming friends when you're streaming. It just happens. My recommendation is to just naturally gel with people that you notice and talk to and become friends with and integrate into those people's community. Do not ever try to make friends with someone because of some utility that you think they might have, such as like them being in like a time zone that they could raid into. That will poison your brain forever. Suki, welcome in. Shumi, how are you doing? Lovely. Friends who do both do and do not touch grass. I'm wonderful Suki. Turning 30 is refreshing. Kind of tired though. I'm afraid my Lazula, the character in the game, is reflecting. Wow, don't call me names. Showering now. Love you all. Oh my god, the lovely Piku. You've been busy. Did the new controller work? We're gonna go on break. I have 20 seconds to go. If you like this, follow. If you love this, subscribe if you have the means to do so. In 45 minutes, we're gonna play Lockdown Protocol with at least 12 to 14 people. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you in 45 or sooner.